Go. Welcome to the Cincy Sports Pod. I'm Tim Kraft along with my co-host Jack Snyder, and we will be talking about Reds and FC Cincinnati today. Let's get off to it. Let's talk a little bit of Reds. The Reds are 5-7 in their last 7 games. They had won five straight, 6-4 in their last 10. Playing pretty good baseball, currently up 2-1 against the Cardinals. An absolute implosion last night from Alexis Diaz. Well, not last night, but the day game. And then in the nightcap, we had a rookie debut. Um, and he gave up a lot of runs as well. So lost to the Cardinals twice yesterday. Not always a very good feeling in your stomach, but um, currently up 2-1 and with a chance to split the series. So, I mean, I have a positive outlook about him. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, I think all signs, despite what took place yesterday, that one just bad day, everything's been pretty good. They were got the last spot in the wild card before those two losses. They were 2 games behind the Cubs in the division, and they had been on a roll, 5 straight wins. The bats are getting hot. The catchers are performing very well. Ellie De La Cruz has kind of found some rhythm here hitting wise. Um, and I think the team overall is just getting a little more consistent, especially behind the plate. Pitching has still been good for the most part, and I think a favorable schedule has helped them get some wins. Obviously, playing a series against the Rockies at a time where you need to gain momentum, I think was pretty huge, considering the Rockies are not very good, pretty bad to be honest. So
Worst
just
team in baseball,
yeah.
to be correct.
Yeah, that series came at a good time, an opportunity to kind of get the bats going, find some rhythm, and obviously brought that home. Beat the Cardinals in game 1, but obviously dropped the next two. And looking to even the series here, but they still got a series staying at home this coming weekend as well. So I think that they can pile it on here, gain some wins. And this is a team that I think is currently top half of the MLB baseball team right now. And I think the playoffs are very much in reach. I personally think if they continue to play they are. I think they'll just float around that just above 500 record, and they should be a good look for the season.
Yeah. I mean, granted, we are going up against lesser opponents in most games that we've been playing recently. Back when we were talking on the podcast, next 30 games were against teams that were below 500 or 500. Um, since then, the Mariners have shot out of a cannon and are now first in their division. But um, pretty much you got to take advantage of these games. Splitting against the Cardinals would be huge. And then who do we have this weekend?
Checking right now. Um, Nationals.
The Nationals. Yeah,
Hmm.
so also not a very up and coming team there. Gotta take advantage of that youth and go out there. I've been really impressed with Gavin Lux. He's hitting 330 somewhere in that range. And then obviously you've got Ellie, who's on a 13 game hit streak. Jose Trevino. I mean, we have the best catchers in the league right now, and it's our second and third string catcher. Imagine what's going to happen when Tyler Stevenson gets back. Um,
Does Tyler Stevenson play immediately when he comes back?
that's the thing. I mean, Jose Trevino has been very impressive, and I think they've got to consider splitting time because he is way too good of a catcher offensively and defensively to not give him more playing time. Um, Not more, but equal share of the playing time with Stevenson. And then Austin wins the third string catcher. I mean, we have the hot two. I mean, who would have ever thought Austin wins and Jose Trevino would combine for the highest average for catchers in the league?
Crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, and to look at it, I mean, the catcher is obviously leading the charge, but the Reds have 8 players hitting 275 or better. Obviously, as you mentioned, wins. He's hitting 394. Hayes 3.5 or 3.65. Gavin Lux 3.27. Trevino hitting 323 in 24 games. I mean, these top end of the guy. And Marte, he's only
Yeah.
played 15 games so far, but he's 315. I mean, there's a lot of consistency up top. And it's frustrating when you have the 24-2 win against the Orioles we had a
Yeah.
week ago, but then we have the 1-0 losses or like the 9-0 or 9-1 game the other night. It's just like these guys are hitting so well. They always have one outlier game, and then you're like, wow, how does that happen? But I think consistency wise, it's been pretty good. And usually it's not just it hasn't been the one guy. It's been a combination of everybody. Everyone's getting a hit or two a game. So I think that's the biggest advantage is the even how even it is throughout the batting order, where you can get a hit from Ellie in the three or whoever's batting in the nine spot.
I would have to agree with you. I think there's some bench tools as well. Um, Santiago Espinal has been pretty good off the bench. I would have to credit him there. And then Jake Fraley's gotten a little bit better. Um, he's now up in the 200s for batting average, which is not, I mean, Mr. Consistent Fraley at 270, but he's at least on the move up the batting average on the team. And then obviously just all the guys in the infield, the middle infield, obviously with Ellie and then Matt McLean have been carrying the load. Uh, and Spencer Steer's starting to come on as well. Um, so it's all looking up for the Reds. They just got to find a way to continue to produce runs like they have been in that 5 game winning streak. Um, but having letdown games will happen. They always will. But I think you look at this series positively if you can split against the Cardinals today.
Absolutely. And I think one more note to touch on the batting is just the top three guys in terms of hits. Ellie's got 34. He's hitting 281. Friedel, 33, 275. Gavin Lux, 32, 327. And they've all played 29 or more games. So they've been consistent the entire season here. They've been able to produce. They're not getting a ton of rest, and they're still being able to keep this up, which to my mind is pretty impressive. And I do want to pose a question to him. I see guys getting breaks every now and then. Obviously, Diaz just got sent down to AAA. I think there's been a good amount of movement between Louisville and here and bringing guys up and down, trying to get rhythm. Do you think Ellie's going to get a break anytime soon, or he's played every game? Do you think he should just continue to go with the flow here?
I think you just continue to go with the flow. I don't like the David Bell philosophy of resting your best players. I'd like to have them out on a daily basis. Maybe give the guy a rest. Um, but not right now. You have a perfect opportunity to go ahead and take this series against the Nationals this weekend and put yourself in a position in the division where it's really a race between you and the Cubs. And that if that's what the I mean, if the Reds can be in that spot, that's gonna be a very opportunistic uh uh ability to go get to the postseason. I mean, if they're racing with the Cubs and they can keep the Brewers on their tail, I mean, it should be a really good season for sure.
Yeah, and the issue is, I looking at the wild card standings as it is right now, there are 6 teams above 500 in the wild card.
Mhm.
Milwaukee and Cincinnati are 1 game above 500. Arizona's two. And then Philly's 17 and 13. They have that final wild card spot right now. San Francisco's 19 and 12, and San Diego's 19 and 11. So, and obviously the Cubs obviously are leading the Central right now, who are in that three spot. It's really competitive. So if you
For
can
sure.
win the division, but somehow it would be a massive boost. But because obviously Milwaukee is going to be huge playing games throughout the season, but you have to continue to win because this National League is pretty stacked for the most part, and 17 and 13 is what's in the wild card right now. So that's going to be a tough mark to get.
It's been 2012 since the Reds have hosted a home playoff game, like to start out a series.
Hmm.
Um, and the only teams in the Major League Baseball to not win a playoff game while Pope Francis was serving his uh, tenure as Pope were the Cincinnati Reds and the Los Angeles Angels. So it's been a while since the Reds have won a playoff game. And if they can bring playoff winning baseball back to Cincinnati, it would just be huge for a morale boost for the city and just in general. I mean, it's really sad to just see that Mike Trout is just locked up there and has been all his career. One of the greatest players of all time. Just sitting there in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean, obviously, I think if you're the Reds, I think obviously this team has like this specifically this team this year has the expectations, some pressure, but historically it's like the Reds, like oh, so they don't typically people don't expect much. Obviously, this squad's a bit different. Hunter Green, Ellie, Matt McClain, all the stars. I think historically the doubt or whatever, I think that can the Reds can play into that and help that. And I think obviously having Terry Francona here as a fresh face has gotten the Reds off to a good start. I don't know the statistics, but I think being above 500 for the first 30 games, it would be a massive win in my book. And I'd rate the season so far. If I had to give it a letter grade, I'd give it I'd give it a B. I think personally, I think definitely exceeding expectations. Uh, Obviously after the first game, that was a tough pill to swallow to start the year. I think as this team continues to build, grow momentum, and get healthy, they should compete for winning a pennant in the Central.
I mean, I would have to agree with you. Just all the pitchers have been solid. Brady Singer's got 4 wins. Um, Obviously, Nick Lodolo with a 2.25 ERA. You got Hunter Green leading the team in strikeouts with 43. Pagan with 8 saves. It's just been a really solid and the bullpen has been holding up as well. Um with Emilio Pagan and Tony Santillan have really come on this year. You're gonna have the high flying Luis May who throws he lives at 100 miles per hour. It's gonna be cool to see what if he can be our next Aroldis Chapman. That would be huge for the Cincinnati Reds. Um and who knows? I mean, we got a ton of pitchers in the farm system that are very promising. So this team's only going to get better and more reinforcements throughout the season for sure. I think Rhett Lauder should be coming up soon.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know. I mean, I would like to see Benson come back up at some point. Obviously, I think sending him down was good, to help him reestablish. Obviously, Diaz. Um, I think it wouldn't hurt to send Candelario down there. I think that it's almost necessary if you ask me. Um, Matt McClain hasn't been playing his best this year. I wouldn't mind sending him down, throwing Espinal in that starting second base position. I think they got a lot of options with AAA and the team, and the amount of movement so far I've seen from Francona has been good.
Did I just hear you say that you want Espinal to be the starting second baseman?
If you want it, well, there's what I'm saying. If McClain hasn't been performing at his best right
Yes.
now, I think if you send him down for a little bit, if you bring Espinal in to start, or even if you rest McClain for a couple days, I mean, we
I could
mentioned
light a fire underneath them and be like,
exactly, and we mentioned Espinal. He's been playing well this year.
yeah,
But I want to go back. Just want to make sure I get his stats correct. Espinal, where is he at in here? He's played 22 games. He's hitting 313. He's got 20 hits,
much
four
bigger
doubles.
sample size than
Yeah,
both
four
Austin
RBIs.
Wins and what is it? Noelfi Marte combined. So yeah.
And McLean's played the same amount of games. He only has 13 hits. and he's hitting 159. So,
Oh, 159? I
yeah,
didn't know it was that bad.
exactly. I mean, I love Matt McClain. Everyone, maybe people are
Yeah,
saying he's the best second baseman since whoever. I disagree. It's always going to be Brandon Phillips until
it'll
McClain
always
can
be
prove
Brandon
himself.
Phillips.
Um, but I think this roster has good depth. We've seen ever since Novelli Marte came up, he's been a freaking beast. So I think lots of work to do. Obviously, Tyler Callahan came up. Obviously, a promising young star. Didn't have a great start. Same with whoever pitched yesterday was. I forget his name. But I think the team has options. And I think it's just all about right combinations on the right day and giving everyone a chance. Obviously, you want to have consistency within the team that's being placed out there, but switching in a guy or two every now and then is not going to hurt. And I think ultimately it would help in the wrong run, long run. Holy, especially if they're trying to make that playoff push because baseball's a long season and you don't want guys getting tired.
I would say, I mean, yeah, for sure. But just getting back to the pitching, um, for a second, um, all the guys have been pretty solid except the guy you're paying $21 million, and that's Nick Martinez.
Yeah.
He's got a 1-3 record, while the other guys, Hunter Green's got a 3-2 record, obviously doesn't get runner support a lot. Then you got Nick Lodelo with a 3-2 record, and then Brady Singer's 4-1, and then Andrew Abbott's 2-0 and looking to go 3-0 after this rain delay. Um, you've got Green 2.7 ERA, Lodelo 2.25, Brady Singer with a 3.24. You got Nick Martinez at a 4.68, and then you got Andrew Abbott with a 3.60. So all around, you just need to get better production from Nick Martinez. But other than that, 4 out of the 5 guys are performing up to expectations, um,
Yeah.
maybe even exceeding them. Um, I think Hunter Green will be well alive in the Cy Young race throughout this year.
Hmm.
Um, so,
Yeah.
gosh, and if Nick Lodolo keeps up what he's doing, like,
They're 16 and 15, but they could be so much better. And they're
yeah.
already playing really good baseball, so I don't know. I'm staying optimistic for the time being.
I think uh I'm liking what the Reds are doing, but let's talk a little bit FC Cincinnati.
Yeah,
First in myself. Let's go.
the one professional sports team in Cincinnati that is consistently at the top,
Yes,
as they've been for a few
consistency.
years now.
Yep. I mean, ever since the opening year where they were dog shit, next year they came back and they've literally been at the top of the league. I mean, they're literally second in the supporter shield in the entire MLS. They're probably the second best or even the best team in all of soccer right now. Maybe behind Montreal, but they're Canadians, so fuck them. Um, but yeah, I mean, Jack, no one watches this podcast. Um, but yeah, I mean, they're averaging 2.2 points per game, which is really good. They're 7-2 in the win-loss category and one tie. Um, goal differential 3. Um, so yeah, I mean, they're 4-0-1. They're undefeated at home and 3-2 on the road. So
Yeah. They haven't lost since March 15th, I believe, against Charlotte. Tie against
it's a
Atlanta,
long time. Yeah.
win against Nashville, win against New England, win against DC, win against Chicago, win against Sporting KC. They're playing New York City here in 3 days. And not only are they winning, they're also winning in style. You were present for that
I was
Sporting
in
KC game.
attendance for the 2 goal Denke game. The the second of which, well, the first was the deflection off the goalkeeper into
Yes.
the back of the net, which was also a very good goal because he didn't even take a touch. He just got it out of the air. And then the second one, he literally bicycled a cross in, um, and it was unbelievable. The whole stadium was just in shock watching the replay. It was ridiculous, and that's gotta be top top three on ESPN top 10 plays for sure.
Yeah, it was really impressive. Haven't gotten to watch a ton of FC Cincinnati games personally, but I'm always keeping updated with the score. If you're ever looking for any Cincy FCC recaps, our boy Cam Lewis, CincySoccerTalk.com, head over there. He can give you some more in-depth stuff. But I mean, the form is good. Obviously, I questioned some of the roster moves. Personally, Lucho leaving, obviously, was a fan favorite. Obviously, I met him way back when. Really nice guy, really good player for FCC, the MVP. So it was tough to see him leave. Um, but they brought in some new players.
Vander stepping into that
Yeah,
role.
Evander's been really
Yeah.
good, and I think the important thing is they've kept kind of the core together for the most part. Added a guy in here, added a guy in there, and although they may have gotten off to a slow start, the form has been really good, and they're right back at the top. And it's once again Cincy versus Columbus in the East, and I think that should be a really fun season.
I I I think a lot of people talking about at the beginning, like Columbus moving to, a different state. Well, this is good for Ohio, I think. It's such an
Absolutely.
awesome rivalry that when you I mean, it's awesome. Like literally, they come into our home stadium. It is jam-packed. It's sold out every time. You go up to Columbus, same thing. I mean, I have a lot of so I have family up in Columbus, and my uncle, he's a huge fan of the Columbus Crew. He grew up in Cincinnati, but obviously, uh, the Crew has been around much longer than FC Cincinnati, and I just think this team is very solid. Denke has been really good. Evander's been solid. Alvis Powell, uh, defender, has been very good. And do we still have Miazga?
Yeah. He actually I believe he just returned recently. Um, what
Yeah,
game
because
was
I saw
that?
a lot of people with Miazga signs at the game.
Yeah, he came on and started for the first time against Chicago. Came on as a sub against DC on April 12th. So,
They got as a schedule outlook. I mean, they've got New York City up next, and then they at City Field in New York, and then they come back home to TQL against Texas, Austin, Texas, and then they'll head up to Toronto, and then on May 17th they've got a game against the Columbus Crew, um, and that'll be on FS1. Should be a huge game at 7 p.m. at in Columbus, so should be fun.
yes, absolutely. Tim, when is that Columbus Crew game? Saturday, May 17th?
Yeah, Saturday, May 17th.
We might have to go to that. That would be a really fun game to go
Tickets are
to.
going to be out the wazoo, but
They will
I'm
be.
worth
Also,
I'm willing to spend the money for sure.
do they play Austin on the road or is that at home?
They play Austin at home
Okay, so
on
I
Saturday,
believe
May
Lucio
10th.
plays for them if I'm not mistaken.
That would be a cool homecoming.
That would be a fun game to go to as well.
They'll probably have like a video commemoration for what was it? Lucho
Yeah.
Acosta. He's been obviously the MVP, was great for us so many years. He'd be coming
Maybe he
back home.
doesn't play for Austin. I don't see him on their roster. I guess I'm incorrect on that.
Yeah, I think he may actually have gone back down to, I don't even know if he's in the MLS.
Oh
I
no,
think he
he
was
plays
given
for
an
FC Dallas. He
opportunity.
plays for Dallas.
Okay,
Okay, so
got
same
it.
state, wrong team.
Yeah.
Close.
Um, and to end off this podcast, I just wanted to ask Jack, how was that finish in attendance at the Bucks and Pacers game?
Oh, that was amazing. Obviously, if you know me, I'm not the biggest NBA guy. I'm college basketball all day long. I'm not going to change up on that stance. Obviously, being from Indiana, big time college basketball state, Cincinnati, not recently, but historically, really good college basketball school. So all in on college basketball. But my roommate and I headed up there, found some decently cheap tickets in the very last row of Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and playoff basketball, man. It was fun. Lots of um, cheap talk, lots of Bobby Portis chants, lots of no one liking Giannis. The Pacers and the Bucks is, I guess, a pretty big rivalry in the NBA.
A
So,
hundred percent. Yeah.
uh, really cool to experience that. I got my playoff tee. Uh, Gonna grab it over here real fast.
And it seems like Brendan's a huge
Sure.
supporter of the Pacers.
Yeah, and it was
Nice.
fun. The atmosphere was awesome. Obviously, the ending of the game was really cool. And I'll definitely be a Pacers fan for the rest of these playoffs. Might have to be a full-time Pacers fan. We'll
Yeah.
see. But
Tyrese Halliburton, so underrated. I mean, what the Hallie, man?
he's definitely not overrated. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely not overrated. Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner. That team's really good. They're probably going
They
to
are.
give the Cavs a run for their money. I
Absolutely.
probably still say Cavs in six, but
Mm.
uh, they could push it to seven. They're a great team, very good defensive team.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, they were down 118 to 111 with 40 something seconds to
Yeah.
go.
They were. It
A
was
big
it was
shot by
crazy.
Nemhard,
Yeah.
and then another a drive to the rim and one by Tyrese, and then
Yeah.
he took Giannis to the rack.
Hmm.
After that, Gary Trent just fumble of the ball out of
Yes.
bounds. So,
Yeah, it was crazy.
well, I think that's all for the Cincy Sports Pod. It was awesome that you guys tuned in today. Um, and we'll see you next time.